One of the most overlooked skills, in my opinion, is the ability to layer and arrange guitars. Instead of treating all guitar tracks as a single cohesive element, learning to break them into specific categories can completely change the way you approach your instrument from a songwriting perspective. To make the most of your guitar arrangements, it's helpful to understand how each part functions within the mix. By categorizing the guitars, you gain a clearer perspective of how each element contributes to the overall sound. For the song I'll be using as an example, the three main categories are harmony, melody, and percussive, with a subcategory for doubling. You can adjust the category types to suit your own composition, but breaking parts down like this can be a useful exercise. Let's start by listening to the full song, and then I'll break down the arrangement, showing how each part serves a different purpose. All in all, it's a pretty simple arrangement. There are a total of 8 separate guitar tracks, including doubles, with each track or pair of tracks serving a different purpose. Starting with the harmony first, this would be anything that falls into a more traditional rhythm guitar role. Typically, these would consist mostly of chordal parts. My song is a little different in that I don't play any chords, but instead opt for arpeggios, though we're still keeping with that basic premise. So in this arrangement, the harmony tracks are the ones you see in red. Here I have 3 tracks labelled guitar left, right and centre. They're all playing the same part, sometimes in unison, at which point they'd be considered doubles of one another, and sometimes in isolation, like when the centre guitar plays by itself at bar 18. You can think of the harmony parts of your guitar arrangement as the foundational building blocks that everything else forms around. Without them, things tend to sound a little empty and disjointed. The harmony provides the context for the melody, giving it something to lean on and giving the song direction. If I mute out the rhythm and bass, you can hear how the song loses its shape and the melodies that are left don't feel like they really go anywhere. Moving on to the melody category, this would typically be anything you think of as a lead guitar part. In this song, that's everything coloured in pink. The first 2 tracks, labelled lead guitar chorus left and lead guitar chorus right, are playing this simple melody. I've doubled this part again, just like with the rhythm guitars earlier. I often like to double important lead guitar parts, but keep them panned inwards, maybe around 50 to 75, instead of hard panning them like with the rhythm guitars. This isn't a strict rule you need to follow, but I found it works well, particularly in this song. The purpose of these parts is to add a melodic twist on top of what the other guitars are already doing. When you're just strumming chords, there's no real sense of melody. You can create more of one by breaking them down into arpeggios, as I've done here, but there still isn't a central melody or anything that stands out as the main hook of the song. I'll play this section with the lead guitar muted, then bring it in on a second playthrough, and you'll hear how this simple melodic hook helps to liven up the song. I also have a lead guitar harmony playing during the verse. This mimics the picking pattern of the rhythm guitars exactly, but the notes have been changed to create a nice harmony with the rhythm guitar doubles. You can do this quite easily by drawing out your melody in MIDI first, and then simply dragging everything up or down the scale to find a suitable harmony. Using thirds or fifths can be a good starting point. You may have to adjust a few notes here or there, but this can be a quick way to find a harmony if you're not yet comfortable using your ear to figure them out. I've kept this guitar track centered, which creates a balanced 3-piece guitar arrangement, one rhythm guitar on the left, the harmony in the center, and a rhythm double on the right. Then, during the ending of the song, I had this little tremolo picked line that comes in, providing a brief counter melody to what's already been introduced. And in the full mix, it sounds like this. Then lastly, we have the percussive category, which includes this one octave track in blue. You can think of this category as either percussive or rhythmic, as its purpose is to add variation to the groove of the song. These parts aren't really here to contribute to the harmony or melody, though they can have multiple purposes, depending on how you write them. If you listen to funk or J-rock, you'll often hear these types of guitar parts used, which contrast from the traditional approach of, say, standard rock or metal songs. In this context, all the track is doing is playing a G-flat octave the entire way through. The important part is really the rhythm and the emphasis on the offbeat, which contrasts nicely with the straightforward drum pattern. I'll play this in context of the full mix, then mute it out so you can hear the difference this simple track makes. Altogether, it sounds like this. Another great trick when it comes to layering is experimenting with the perceived distance and space of tracks. If you're not quite sure how that works, then watch this video next to find out.